Drone here. This is the Wraith drone from World Tech Toys, and we're going to give this a general flight review. I flew this last night just on what the battery had out of the box. It gave me about 2 minutes, and we have a charged battery here. I do have the camera running, and we're going to see how well this camera is too, hopefully. 1080p. I'm going to take this up and see what type of range we could get as well. I was gonna get my altitude meter, but I figure I'm not gonna push the limits with this. We'll just see what type of range it generally has here. This is over $100 drone. I expect it to have very good range. I don't expect that I paid $60–70 for the camera that's off of it. It is a very light camera. I'm sure the quality is nice. Right now we're pushing probably 250, close to 300 feet, getting right around the 100-meter mark, which is nothing. I mean, most of my not really, but mid-grade small drones can push well over 300 feet, and we're having issues here. Oh yeah, free fall, come on, and bounce, nice. Again, I'm near power lines. I've thought that the power lines have some type of interference with these. Maybe I'll have to go further out, but if that was the range, it's not great range. And sweet. Camera's off of it. Slightly sitting in some water. Drone slightly sitting in some water. Lights are still lit on the drone, so that's a good sign. And let's see this camera here. Camera's wet. It doesn't look like any water got on the inside of it, which is good. We're gonna go ahead and dry this down as much as possible, as quickly as possible. That way no water does seep inside of it. And again, for what I paid for this, I mean, again, no way I'm paying that much for this camera. I mean, it does say it's 1080p high definition, but it's not a top of the line camera. I can go on eBay for $20 and get something that's probably better than what's in my hands right now. And again, we're just drying off the water. I don't want it to seep into the camera. I would like to actually get footage off this camera at some point. And if you could see there, it actually completely separated from the piece that connects to the drone. Nice. If you could see on the bottom of the landing gear, the legs, there are screws into the body. I did put those screws in. They did come with the quadcopter. If I didn't have those screws in, this probably would have been a lot more damage, because yesterday during the night flight, the legs just flapped off of it. I didn't have the screws in. Alright, we got the camera plugged in. We got a steady blue light, which is an indicator that this is working properly. But because those rubber grommets aren't on there and this is no longer secure to be flown with, I'm not gonna try to fly again. You can see the bottom piece is still attached to the battery door compartment. And you can also see I'm missing a light cover guard. We're going to go ahead and try to secure this, but I'm missing grommets. And again, over $100 quad, this should be a little bit more put together. That if you crash it, it's not going to fall apart, because essentially that's what this did. The camera fell apart. And those are rubber grommets. Why they weren't on more secure than what they were is beyond me, because the camera didn't break and the mounts didn't break. It was the rubber grommets that actually broke. We have that kind on there, but we're missing a grommet or two, so we're not going to be able to fly and take video with this. I hope it got something, but let's see over here. Trying to look for that other rubber grommet. know. Well, so far I'm not impressed with this drone. The sheer size of it I'm impressed with. The camera that came with it I'm impressed with. What's this? Not quite sure if that goes with my drone or if that's just a piece of somebody else's stuff laying here. I don't know, because it doesn't quite look like it would go on there. But again, the size of it, the box camera that came with it, 1080p, whatnot, I'm pretty impressed by it. Even the paint job I'm pretty impressed by. It's kind of like a dark tribal paint to it. But as far as the range that I just got off of it, again, it could be because I'm flying close to the power lines, but I really don't think it is. This is where I did the altitude test with the Striker and almost hit 800 feet. So, and let's see here. I have the light cover, pop that back in, bam, it's back in. Take another look over here, see if I can find that rubber piece. You can see the indentation. It was over to the left, a little square indentation right there. That's obviously where the camera hit. The legs are tall enough that the camera should not have hit. I don't know. This drone definitely does not get my stamp of approval yet. We're gonna have to get this out again. As far as taking video, like I said, I think without that rubber grommet in there, we're not taking video right now. I got a white shirt on and it is filthy from wiping this thing off. But let's see, I guess we're doing a time trial now. We figured at least right here the range is not that great. I mean, overall durability, the drum's fine. Light cover popped off of it. The camera obviously not secured really well. They should have really had that secured. We're up in the air again. Your red's your front, your black is your rear. I mean, maneuverability from this big of a quadcopter, I'm impressed with. Speed I'm impressed with. We gotta definitely get better range than what we did. Yeah, that thing's so cool. Definitely need to get better range. And we also need to figure out how to secure the camera, because definitely have to try the camera. That's right rotating funnels. As you can see, it's a nice flyer. It really is. Those flips nice. Little barrel roll. Again, be careful flying that close to your face with something this large. I'm sure there's no function for those blades to stop once it hits something, and you could cut yourself. I've cut myself on smaller blades, and you definitely cut yourself on these larger blades. Yeah, it's definitely a nice flyer. Very nice flyer. Really wanted to check that video out, but I think just from past experience, the video is probably gone because it lost connection with the controller and essentially shut down, and that's when it fell to the earth and bounced. And that's actually a backwards funnel there, guys. It gets up there, but this thing should almost I should have no troubles just going and going and going. I've went really far up with the Striker. I don't even think I hit max height with the Striker when I did that altitude test. It was just the fact it was getting really hard to see. I know on these videos this may seem a little bit hard to see. Put in full screen, you should see it better, but at no point here was I questioning if I could see it or not. It's pretty large, and that tells me that it wasn't really that high up. Maybe 200, 300 feet, around the 100-meter mark. Lights are flashing. We're gonna try to set this down nicely so I do not break anything. Time, we're around 4 minutes. We didn't even hit the 7-minute mark. We need to have a bigger battery in this. I'm Jadron. If you haven't subscribed, please do.